optical art. Okay guys, as you saw in the thumbnail, is Bitcoin going to crash or is it going to moon? We're going to dissect this, we're going to break it down. Before we do that guys, remember my monthly subscription price is going up next week, so if you want to lock in at the current price, make sure you sign up this week. The link to my website will be pinned in the first comment in the description. In this video, I'm also going to show you if we did moon and we pushed up, I'm going to show you exactly how high we will go and when to get out, so you know when to get out before anyone else. And I already told you if we crash, the points you want to watch is the 300 weekly and the 200 weekly. I know that's way down there. People don't think it's possible. But guys, I know something is coming. Whether you believe in these flip circles or not, I'm expecting a major stock market correction. And as we saw in the past when we had a COVID crash, Bitcoin crashed twice as hard. So let's get into this. Look, I can tell you right now, we are in a rising, this is a rising wedge. It's a bearish pattern. This is our resistance, support, resistance, support. We're at key resistance. If you get above 58,000, get bullish for more upside. Otherwise, we're coming down to test the bottom, which looks like our support will be around $47,000. So if we do get above this point, all right, get bullish. If we do push up, I can tell you the first point you'll get rejected will be right here, around potentially 66,500 to potentially 65,600, depending when you make contact. You will get rejected. If that does happen, I'm already bullish. We're above this point. You might push up as resistance, come back down to support, and then push higher. And again, a little later, I'll show you how high we could go if we do moon. So this is a video I put out yesterday. I'll put a link up to this video now if you want to check it out. The link will be pinned in the first comment in the description. Look, in this video I said, look, it's possible by October 28th we could be testing 47,000. Price pushed up back to resistance. You should read some of the comments. People are saying, delete your channel, you don't know what you're talking about, you're getting people wrecked, you're losing money. Just the meanest comments. But I never said that Bitcoin couldn't push back up. I said by October 28th it's possible we could test this target. I didn't say we would drop to 47,000 overnight. People were just so damn impatient. But either way, we did come up and we're still at resistance. So as long as we're still below resistance, guys, I believe it's possible we're coming down. So let's cover some other things that you can use as indicators to know which way we're going. We already covered this rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. We're at resistance. So this was a video. This is the same part of the video I just referenced. And what I was talking about, if the dollar's pushing up, Bitcoin typically comes down. The dollar comes down, Bitcoin pushes up. I made a tweet about this. Again, you have to have access to my charts, get access to my Twitter. It's private. 22 hours ago, I said, about to test support for the DXY. If we push up from there and we're at resistance for Bitcoin, might be an ideal point to short. So what I was saying is, on the H1 chart, we're at resistance. On the C1 chart, we have two resistance levels. And the DXY, the US dollar, is coming down to support. If this support holds and you're at resistance with Bitcoin, might be a good point to short. So obviously, if we break this support and the dollar continues down, you would want to be long on Bitcoin. So again, you can use the DXY as an indicator to know which way to trade Bitcoin. And let me show you how this played out. So what I was saying is, if we held support right here, right, if the dollar came down and held support, this is where you want to short Bitcoin because the dollar would push up. What happened? We broke support. We came down and what happened? Bitcoin started pushing up. So again, if you have access to my stocks, have the DXY chart open because you can use this to get an idea. You can see the DXY found support here, it's pushing up, and Bitcoin is kind of going sideways and down. This right here, so this was the same part of the video. I was showing you where your key support and resistance levels are. And I said, look, if we come down, 54,271 is the key support that needs to hold. If we push up, 57,748 is your next key major resistance above. How this chart played out, you can see we did push above my resistance level I gave you by a total of, what, 1.30%? But you can see we're back below this resistance right here. This is a very important resistance level. If we can't get above that, then we're going much lower. And what support needs to hold? Right here. Your first support is going to be 56,453. If that breaks, the next support is going to be 54,500-ish. If that breaks, we're going much lower. Your next support below that, very strong support, is going to be 51,416. Again, all of your support and resistance levels are already mapped out. I took the time to chart this, to create this chart for the direction price is moving, so you know where to long and where to short. So let's cover bearish divergence, guys. So this above is bullish divergence, below is bearish divergence. There's different levels of divergence. I'd say we're more in the first category. Price is pushing up while the indicator like the RSI or the MACD is going down. And you can clearly see that, and I did make a tweet about this as well. I said, while we are pushing up, practice some risk management, as the bearish divergence on the 3-hour MACD and RSI is pretty extreme. Even the daily RSI shows some bearish divergence. This is refresh the C1 chart. I added this yellow trend line. See, we got rejected at this point. Notice we came back down below resistance. This is the bearish divergence on 3-hour. You see price is pushing up, while the moving average on the MACD is going down. And same with the G1 chart. This is on the daily. You see price is pushing up. You see the RSI is coming down. That is bearish divergence. That's why it says possible we could come back down. This is another indicator showing this possible we could have some more downside. And right here is that chart. Again, you can see we almost came up to resistance. We did get rejected. Your current support right now that needs to hold. If 57,418 breaks, your next major support that needs to hold is 54,465. And then if that breaks, your next support that needs to hold is going to be right here at 50,650. Again, all your support and resistance levels are already mapped out. But again, look at this bearish divergence. This is the moving averages to the MACD. Price is moving up, while the moving average is getting lower and lower. Again, bearish divergence. Another indicator we could go much lower. So I told you at the beginning of this video, look, this was the same chart I used to predict the top. Again, this right here, we hit this ring, we got rejected. Nobody knew how high Bitcoin would push up. I mean, I didn't expect Bitcoin to push up 65K. I don't think most people did, but I did have this chart that showed if we did push up, a likely point to top out was at 65K, and that's because of this ring right here. And you can see how well price has been respecting this fib circle, going all the way back. You can see that this was resistance, 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 resistance. Next ring, it was support and resistance. Pushed up to this one, it was resistance. We pushed up to the next ring, we got rejected. So I can tell you, if we push up, a likely point to top out, if we push straight up, you're around 100,000. Out here is around 110,000. That is the point to take your profit and get the hell out. If we drop, your first likely point to catch a bounce, if we come straight down, 26,580. Out here is 28,557. If you have access to the charts, these are rings. Depending when you make contact, depends on the price. But I can tell you, if we do push up, just like back here where we got rejected once at 62,000, got rejected at 65,000. If we push up, when you make contact with this ring, you will get rejected. So if we moon, this is when you get out and take your profit. If we drop, this is where you want to buy to catch a bounce. It's that simple. Let's check out the and again, this is another example. This is on the weekly. Look at price. While we haven't put a new all-time high, you can see price is just barely pushing up. So 65,000. Currently, we're at 57,400. So we're almost back up to our previous all-time high. But look how extreme. Look at the moving averages. This is bearish divergence on the weekly. So you can see that this is an indicator showing that we could possibly have some downside as well. We have a lot of bearish divergence on the weekly, the daily RSI, and then the daily, or I think the 3-hour MACD. This is the Dow Jones. So again, guys, yeah, if it is possible we could push higher, if the markets continue to push up, the DXY will go down and Bitcoin will push up. But I can tell you, when we make contact with this ring, if we push up, this is when I short. If we move sideways, when we make contact with this ring, this is when I short. I believe when we make contact with this red ring, wherever it is, that will be the top, and from that point it will be downhill from there. And if the market's correct, at least the Dow, I'm pretty sure the S&P and the Nasdaq will correct as well, and Bitcoin will correct twice as much. Right now you can see the Dow Jones is up. So again, I do hope we push up, because I want to hit this. When we hit this ring, that's when I'm shorting. If we go sideways, it can take longer to hit the ring. So guys, this is one more indicator showing it's possible we have some downside, and that's using the volume. If you'll notice, when we peaked up here around 20,000 in 2017, notice the volume was getting lower and lower and lower. Eventually, as price was coming down, we had a spike in sell volume. We had a drop. This is where we peaked in 2019 around 14K. Notice as price was coming down, you can see the volume was declining, right? Then we had a spike in sell volume and down we came. So it is very possible the same thing is playing out. If you notice right here, where we peaked around 65K, Notice the volume is declining. It's getting lower and lower. So pretty soon we're going to get a move. And if it happens like it did right here in 2018, 2019, right here in 2020, if it plays out the same and we get a spike in sell volume, we could have a lot more downside. I do want to show you, this is my S&P chart. Just want to show you how this played out. This is published on September 13th. Just want to show you these fib circles, how well price respects them. So if I hit play, look how this worked out. We moved down this yellow ring here, pushed up. As soon as we crossed this white ring, we dropped. We rode up this white ring, we crossed it, we dropped. We rode up it, came down, rode up the ring, crossed it, and came down. So it's just showing you how these fib circles actually can help you predict moves. But again, guys, just remember, if we get above 58,000, get bullish. Otherwise, I think by October 28th, we're headed to 47,000. Your first point to watch to get rejected is around 66,000. And as I showed you on this chart, guys, if we do push up, 100,000, 110,000 seems to be the top. And if we drop, again, this is your first point to watch for support, 27,000 to 28,000. And again, if it gets really bad, as I've said in previous videos, 300 weekly and the 200 weekly is likely a point to hold support. That is where we previously held support the last time we had our major crashes. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you do want to sign up for these charts, the website's awkwardcrypto.com. Link will be pinned in the first comment in the description. Remember, this price goes up next week, so if you want to lock in price now, make sure you sign up. That's it, guys. The next video, I'm out.